Hello, Sai Ram, and welcome to yet another episode of understanding the in depth meaning of our very loving Sai Bhajan. And this is about Rama Sai, Rama Sai, Rama Sai Ram. The lines go something like this. I'm not going to be singing out in tune, just reading out the words. Kausalya Nandana Dasharatha Ram, Janaki Vallabha Jaya Jaya Ram. Lakshmana Sevita Lavanya Ram, Ravana Mardhana Ranadhira Ram, Ayodhya Vasi Raja Ram, Anjana Priya Sutta Atmabhiram. What do all these lines mean to us? Why do we have to sing this out loud? What does it do to our own inner realization? What changes happen to our own inner self when we are mindful of every word, every letter, every sound that we make as an offering to our very loving Lord, dear Swami? Let's start off. Kausalya Nandana Dasharatha Ram is that, there is an example where there is a story when Swami says, it's not about you following me. If you realize the love that is inherent within you, I will follow you just as how a calf follows its mother, his or her mother. Wherever the mother goes, the calf is always following around. That way, once you realize the love that is within you, Lord will himself, universal energy will himself, herself, present itself as your own loving child, always being with you, always being around you, always being interested in you, always being interested in learning about what you are doing at every moment in your life. Janaki Vallabha Jaya Jaya Ram. There was another line also. This line was also pronounced as or sung as Janaki Mohana Jaya Jaya Ram. Whatever it is that you would like to take it as. So, have you ever been in love with God? Mohana means, or Rama is the one that who can Raminchu Ade Ramudu. Again, definition from Swami, our own dear Swami. So, have you ever been in love with God? Have you ever been mesmerized with God? Have you ever been amazed with God? If that ever happened with you, be it any form of God, be it even the formless God, whatever it is, just looking at the cosmos, are you mesmerized? If that has ever happened to you, then that this line will very much help you in realizing this statement or this fact that the Lord is within you, is entirely covering, or you are entirely consumed by the Lord. It's not that, okay, this part of the body the Lord is there, or that part of the body the Lord is there. No. Janaki Mohana Jaya Jaya Ram, Janaki Vallabha Jaya Jaya Ram. As you see, there's a relation of wife and husband with these names of the forms called Janaki and Ram. But how do you see it for yourself? The same husband, the God who can play the role of husband, being a protector, is within you. The God who can play the role, and who plays the role of wife, being soft, being nurturing you, caressing you, taking care of you, is within you. Every role that you see outside in the world is being played by the very Lord inside of you, just for you to realize his presence. So that's about you realizing that I am being taken care of by this very loving God. I am being nurtured by this very loving God. Every situation that's coming to me is helping me grow. And that is how God has designed it. Moving ahead, the line says, Lakshmana Sevita Lavanya Ram. And we all know what the Ramayana story is about, right? Lakshmana is that brother of, again, just the names and forms, physical forms. Again, not just, but they convey a lot of meaning, lot of value when you see through whatever is being depicted in the form of story. So Lakshmana is that obedient or again a loving brother who's always following Rama in his service. Wherever you are, I will serve you. Be it in the forest or be it in the kingdom or wherever you are, I will serve you. And this makes me recall this incident where Swami narrates in the Ramakatha Rasavahini, when Rama requested Lakshmana if he could build a house in the forest wherever they were stalled at. I can't recall the names of the specific names of the places. Please excuse me. And Lord Rama, while casually speaking to Lakshmana, Lord Rama mentioned or said that, Lakshmana, however you want to make it, please make it. Like the design or the having the steps or not having steps or whatever it is. Right? Basically, the design was all left up to Lakshmana. And for that, Lakshmana he broke down. He broke down with tears, obliging at Lord Rama, saying, Rama, how could you ever think that I would think of any plan other than what you direct me to do? Whatever comes to my mind is actually on your direction, is actually on your command. You are physically telling me or you are not physically telling me, whatever it is, but anything that came to my mind is only according to your direction. How could you even say out or utter out this phrase that build it according to your wish? There is nothing that's my wish, Rama. Everything is according to your will, your wish, and I surrender at your feet. So much is the surrenderance of Lakshmana in the service of Rama. Serving, right? Seva bhavam. And how does that relate to us? While we are singing the bhajan, what is the inner realization that we can take from this line? Lakshmana is nothing but all the organs that we are blessed with, right? All the organs that we are blessed with, all the sense organs, the physical organs, the sense organs that we are blessed with. All these faculties or the resources that this entity called body, mind and Atma has been blessed with, all these faculties need to be utilized only for the service of the universal Lord, the Lord, basically. The entire universe is Lord itself, right? So all these, and if you look into your own self, your Atman is the good Lord, your Atman is the Lord. So all these faculties that you have been blessed with should solely be utilized according to how your Atma, according to how the Atma guides them to move ahead. So that was how Lakshmana was totally surrendered in the service of Rama. And that is how we, as we go through this line, as we assimilate this line, as we internalize this line, we get to realize that, oh my God, all these faculties, all these capabilities that we claim as our strengths, as our abilities, have actually been blessed upon us, have actually been graced upon us, so that we will act according to the command, according to the direction of the Atma residing within. The Atma is nothing but the universal Lord residing within each one of us. Lakshmana Sevita Lavanya Ram. In the service of God, that is the Atma inside of you, within you, is how you utilize the resources, the faculties, the sense organs, the physical organs. Ravana Mardhana Ranadhira Ram. That is about, through doing all this, like while you are utilizing your resources, your faculties, your physical organs, your sense organs, and you have practiced living with the presence of God within you, just as Janaki Vallabha Jaya Jaya Ram, you have practiced the presence of, you have practiced God's presence always being around you, just as how a calf always is always around its mother. While you're doing all of this, that is when the strike happens. And what is the strike? Striking off the ego. Ravana Mardhana Ranadhira Ram, this universal Lord, whatever name, whatever form, the universal consciousness, universal Lord, who's sitting very much inside of you as your Atma, is now helping you cut off the ego self that has risen and that will continue to rise, and during your lifetime, during every situation in your life. Ravana Mardhana, that ego self is cut off, that ego self is striken off, by the very Lord, by the very universal God that's sitting inside of you, that's residing within you, Swami residing within you. Ayodhya Vasi Raja Ram. Very well statement to put it here. Ayodhya Vasi Raja Ram. But where is which Vasi is our own Lord? Hridaya Vasi. Right? So our dear Lord Swami, our dear Lord, whatever name and form you would like to go about calling the dear Lord, is very much residing in your heart, within you, the spiritual heart within you. So Ayodhya Vasi Rajaram, you need not pray for some entity with the name and form as Ram sitting in Ayodhya, but while calling the entity with the name and form called Rama, who has lived in Ayodhya and who's still living in Ayodhya, during this journey, when you are doing it intentionally, when you are doing it mindfully, you will eventually realize that you are circling about all around you and reaching your own heart, your own spiritual heart, and realizing that this universal Lord is very much residing within me. Hridaya Vasi, dear Swami. And how can we miss the great Hanuman, right? Anjana Priyasuta Atmabhiram. Wonderful concluding line. Anjana Priyasuta. Hanuman has been the Lord's Bhakta, Duta, Dasa. So much that following everything to the T to what the Lord says, so much that Rama has accepted Hanuman as a Sakha. Hanuman has always considered as Bhakta, Duta, Dasa. And even for these, there are so many criteria to actually be called as, to actually be looked upon as the Bhakta by the Lord. So I can claim I am whoever it is that I want to be. But then the God, the good God, the good Lord, our dear Swami should look upon us with that meaning. So we have to be so much pure. Anjana Priyasuta Atma Bhiram. So all that Rama could give back to Hanuman was a warm hug saying, you are the Sakha, right? It's not just about Bhakta, Duta, Dasa, but the elevation of the relationship with God that takes you to Sakha. And then obviously towards emergence. And the last word being Atma Bhiram, the Atma that's inside of you, that itself is God residing within you. So just to conclude, I will quickly summarize you. God needs to be realized, has to be realized, got to be realized as the one that's always around you, always interested in you, always learning about you, always helping you to grow. And you are entirely consumed by the Lord. You got to be seen yourself as God lives in every inch, every atom within my body. Wherever you look into, you knock the door of the cell, there is God there. So much of that kind of perspective, of that kind of immersion in God. And then all the faculties, all the physical organs, sense organs, whatever you've been gifted with, are solely to serve the Lord, to serve the world, to be acted according to your intuition, according to the guidance of the Atma within, that's Swami within. That is when Ravana Mardhana happens. The ego self gets killed. The ego self is stricken out. That is when you also realize that the Lord who have been looking out is actually living inside of me, Hridaya Vasi. And concluding with always devoting ourselves to be a Bhakta, a Duta, a Dasa, so that God will elevate this relation between the devotee and God to Sakha. Right? So that concludes this episode. I hope you've learned or you've taken away some perspective of this or that. May not be completely from this podcast or from this episode, but I'm sure something hit your mind and you have got your own perspective about any of these lines that I have recited. Thank you very much for being with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you to dear Swami, and let's catch up in the next episode.